Hey weirdos, welcome to 31 Days of Halloween. We are going to be watching 31 horror, Halloween
type movies,
comedies, scary things.
Anything Halloween related, monsters, vampires, whatever.
This is our list. We're basically what we're doing is we're watching one movie every single day. Then we're recording a podcast where we're going to discuss that week
after
seven movies.
After 7 movies.
Right.
Yeah.
So
every 7 movies.
So this is week 1. These are the movies that we just watched this past week. Before we get into it, we are going to be talking very, very detailed into these movies. There are going to be spoilers. Mm-hmm. This is our list. Some of these things we've seen before, other ones that are new to us. Mm-hmm. These are just movies that we were interested in. There's some that I don't even know why I've never watched.
Some of these movies are like so old. If you haven't seen it by now, I don't know what to tell you. But
yeah,
no, that's not true because some movies we've never seen before.
Well, totally. Yeah.
But it's not going to ruin anything. I don't think we'll give away too much in the endings, though, but yeah.
No, I don't think we'll give away endings, but we're going to talk about things that we found, that we enjoyed, that we liked, that we didn't dislike. Movie reviews, essentially. So, do you want to get into it?
Yes.
Movie number 1 is a Canadian movie.
It is.
And it's called Fido.
Yeah, it was made in 2006.
Thank you. I was just going to ask you what the year was.
It was a dark comedy, and it was filmed in Kelowna here in BC. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of movies on Shudder that were filmed in Canada.
Yeah, and actually, this is a movie that I saw when it came out. I knew about it. Don't know why I didn't watch it, because we love zombie movies. Mm-hmm. Somehow we just missed it. I don't know what we were doing in 2006.
I saw it last year.
21.
We just never got to it from our last list last year.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I overall liked it. I thought it was fun. I actually thought it was really, really nicely filmed. It was like, what is it, 1950s?
Yeah, 1950s vibe.
Yeah, I was going to say I said the color is so vibrant and pretty. And then Carrie-Anne Moss is in it.
Fine Canadian actress.
She plays a great 1950s, 60s housewife, which is awesome.
And also stars Sir Billy Connolly, who is almost unrecognizable in this role. He was the guy that played Fido. He was the zombie.
The zombie, yeah.
A great spin on zombie movies. The fact that there was a corporation behind things, Zomcom, trying to keep order of everything. Basically, I mean, if you can read the synopsis on this movie and find out if it's something that you're interested in, we loved it. I think
I loved it. I thought it had a Harry and the Hendersons vibe.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I loved it. That was one of my little notes.
It's that classic all-American story of a boy and his dog, but the dog just happens to be a zombie.
Yeah, and the other thing I liked is the head coffins. They had to cut the head off all the zombies that died. Because actually, the premise is when you die, you actually turn into a zombie. So the town's used to people dying, and they have to immediately cut off their head and bury the head separately from the body.
Right.
But what's funny about it, what makes it a comedy, is how they treat it. Mm-hmm. Like, they just, basically throw the head into a grave, kick it in, like it wasn't any respect or anything.
It was put in its own separate box.
But it was just thrown in.
Yeah.
It was just we're done. Right. Throwing away the trash. I did have a note on something where I said they rewrote religion rules.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like, some of the religion, they were going off a lot of religion as a part of their zombie thing. The zombie world, they've changed the religion to fit in with zombies.
Yes.
If that makes sense. They rewrote some religion rules as far as that goes. Because everybody was still very religious in this.
Yeah.
But the rules have slightly changed as far as, I'm trying to remember what an example was, but I just put the note they rewrote religion rules. And I can't remember now because it's been 16 days since we watched it.
One of the things that I liked, I took a note on this little piece of dialogue that I loved, is where Timmy and his mom are talking, and there's a bit of a disagreement with the dad. The dad is obsessed with going to these funerals every weekend.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit sort of middle point of the movie, but the mom, Carrie-Anne Moss, is arguing with her husband, and she says, Timmy and I are going zombie. When we die, we're not doing, not following your plan.
You have a
choice.
We're
going zombie.
You can either stay zombie, or you tell your relatives to cut your head off and split up your body and just bury you.
Right.
You can do either or, but they were we want to be a zombie when we die.
Right.
They don't want to be buried.
Yeah.
So that's cool that you have that choice.
And then
Dad was not happy about that because he works for Zomcom.
Did he work for Zomcom?
He did work for Zomcom.
The neighbor across the way was the head of Zomcom.
Yeah, but I thought Dad worked for Zomcom too.
Actually, I don't even remember. I think the dad just had a regular job. Maybe it wasn't even that clear.
Yeah, I don't know.
And another funny point in this movie is when you turn 12, you get a gun.
You do, and they all get trained in school. Most of their schooling has to do with dealing with zombies and training.
Yeah.
Like there's little kids holding rifles at gun range at elementary school.
Right.
And the other thing is, on the opposite end of that, old people get arrested before they die.
Oh, that's right.
Because they don't want them to die in home because they don't want them to turn into a zombie. So they get arrested and put somewhere.
Right.
So they die. They have, I don't know how they know, I guess a certain age, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I think that's just it. Everybody, when they do become a certain age, it's kind of the Logan's Run version of a zombie film where people beyond a certain age are basically put to death. In this case, they're collected, taken to Zomcom, so they'll be protected and save the community. We should point out, too, that the way that they're keeping the zombies is they've got some sort of collar. So Zomcom has come up with a thing. People have got a collar that keeps the zombie calm.
Not wanting... human.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it basically becomes a docile
They become
house
slaves,
pet.
basically. They basically become like the Carrie-Anne Moss's character. She desperately wanted a zombie as a housekeeper.
Yeah.
So she got one finally because everyone else has one. I should have one. I should have a housekeeper too.
And the guy living across the street, they have 6 or something like that.
They have 6 zombies. Yeah. And Dad was not thrilled with it at all. No. He doesn't like the idea of zombies.
He's creeped out. He was creeped out by zombies, and there's a bit of a backstory. We won't talk about that one. But that's Fido. I again really enjoyed it. Don't know why I've waited so long to never see it. Glad that we put it on the list. It was a great way to start.
Johnny Bottom, the guy who runs the Zomcom, in his office he has a zombie head in a jar, and that's his first kill. Just like Walking Dead with the zombie jars. He's a little psycho, which leads into
the governor.
All the men in it seem to have gone psychotic. All the men are a little off.
Right.
Yes.
But I think that's kind of there's a little bit of a Vietnam kind of flashback. There's a war against zombies that happened, right? And so
they're all a little messed up.
Every man has gone to war and killed a zombie at some point, and I think that's kind of screwed some people up.
Yeah. And then my next note is the zombies were good in it, but they really need to give them some contacts and eyeliner to look more dead.
Oh, good point.
Because you can see the humanness behind the mask. Right. They forgot to take care of this part. Such an easy thing to do was just put in contacts and black out the eyes before the mask goes on.
Right.
And it would have fixed that problem other than that. Because that kind of made them look like fake zombies a little bit.
That took you out of it. That there even seemed to be a point, because all the zombies sort of have like a gray skin. Yeah. But there was a couple of points where you could see like actual pigment or just regular skin.
And I actually took that as, at first I thought, oh my God, he's becoming more human.
Right.
And I thought he was changing color, but I don't think that's the case. No. I think that the makeup part wasn't just doing stuff.
Sloppy.
If you're not a good human in the zombie world, like if you're not living in a society, being a good person, they will send you to the wild zone when you misbehave. Right. Which means where wild zombies are at. They'll throw you out there to die.
So that's the constant threat for you to
if you're not following in line with 1960s standards,
1950s,
50s standards, they would throw you in the zombie zone. And, and even the head of Zomcom said, "That's how I got my house, because we threw that family in the and they're not just though if it's just a husband. It's like the military. If the husband misbehaves or the wife misbehaves, the whole family gets in trouble.
Impacted.
Neighbor having a relationship with zombie Tammy, who clearly is underage. Yeah.
What's more creepy, the fact that she's underage or the fact that she was a zombie?
Both.
They're both incredibly creepy.
He definitely had a relationship with her. She definitely wasn't a housekeeper. Yeah. And what's creepy is she was underage as well.
Nope.
So there's no
who's fighting for zombie rights?
So if this doesn't give you enough to go watch it.
Yeah.
I did like it because it was so different and weird and just beautifully shot. So yeah. I think that's all my notes now.
A delightful movie, not scary in any way, but certainly entertaining in a good way, light Halloween fun. Some adult themes, I would say. Obviously, there's some suggestions with Tammy, the zombie.
Well, he's smacking her ass all the time. Yeah. She had like a tiny little cheerleading skirt on. And
do you want to give it the old thumbs up, thumbs down, just basic, or do you want to rate it like 1 out of 10?
I'll just rate it like Shutter, where I gave it like 4 out of 5 skulls.
5 skulls. What do you? You need 4?
I think
4.
4 out of 5 skulls. Just because the makeup could have been a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do 3.5, 4. I don't know why I went half a point under, but just to be different, I guess.
Why are you giving it such a lower score?
You know what? I'm solid 4. I changed my mind. You convinced me. That's how much I flip-flop.
Yeah.
Also, last thing, we know the guy that did the storyboards for it. Didn't know until after I shared it.
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, did you see my name on that?"
Oh, I didn't even look. Yeah, that's funny. Know. That's always it's not uncommon to know someone who's worked on something that we've watched. That's true. So we want to go to the next movie?
Yeah, let's go to day number 2,
which is Ginger Snaps.
Also Canadian.
It's a very Canadian week.
This was a happy accident.
Yeah, a lot of movies are Canadian this week, and it was made in 2000. It's a dark comedy and filmed in Toronto.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
This movie has several sequels. We have zero plans to watch these sequels.
Well, we don't know that. We might.
I don't know.
Was it good enough to go watch more?
I really enjoyed Ginger Snaps.
Then why wouldn't you watch 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, how many more there is?
Because I've seen the trailers and I feel like the story was told with Ginger Snaps 1. Oh, okay. I might watch it. I don't know.
You might be right.
Maybe 2. 3, they've gone in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Ginger Snaps 1.
So Ginger Snaps is when the daughter gets bit by a werewolf.
So there's 2 sisters. They're bored as can be. I love these 2 girls instantly. They've got they're kind of like both Wednesday Addams in a way.
They're thrilled. They're intrigued by death.
Yes.
In general.
So they're dark. They're really moody. They're unhappy. They're depressed. They have this school project where they do things all about death. Really creative deaths. They submit the project in like photographs. It's like a photo essay. But then something happens. Ginger gets her first period.
Oh, yeah.
And then gets bitten by a werewolf.
And also the tagline was something funny. It's not a curse or something.
They don't call it a curse
They don't call it curse for nothing.
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, that was a good one.
So this is a really clever take on a werewolf, on the werewolf genre. Where, again, I don't want to... Well, we're going to ruin it. We talked about spoilers. But instead of like, hey, it's a full moon, I've turned into a werewolf, and oh my God, what did I do last night? She's actually slowly evolving into a werewolf, much like a young girl turning into a woman.
Yes.
So there's that kind of balance.
And cool. Also, this film almost did not get made.
Do tell.
It happened in it was filmed back in 1999, and it was right when Columbine happened, and they wanted to film in a high school, and they didn't want, people were not having it. They didn't want any teen violence in a high school right now. So they had to really search and find the right place to let them film there, so it took them a bit to get going. So it almost did not get made, because they're marketing as a teen slasher.
Right.
And at the time, it was not a go-to thing.
So no, the school board wouldn't allow them filming in any school, so they had to get access to a school.
I think they went to a private school.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it almost did not get made.
So overall, what did you think of this movie?
I liked it. A little cheesy, but I love cheesy.
Cheesy in the right way.
I actually think the parents are more creepy than the daughters. The parents were really weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, if anything, the movie should have been about the parents because they're really weird. I said lots of shaving cream happening is one of my notes because she had to shave all the time. She was growing hair all over her chest.
Yes.
So she was constantly shaving, which was really funny.
There was other things, like you mentioned the parents, but actually every adult in this movie doesn't do anything. Like, these kids are getting away with absolutely everything. They're smoking. That is kind of different. Smoking on the school grounds.
Yeah, they were smoking
during
a lot.
class.
Yeah.
Like, there's all of these things that happen. There's the gym teacher stops a fight, but then doesn't really do anything about it.
I feel like we got away with a lot of things in the 80s.
We weren't allowed to, not that I smoked, but I mean...
But I'm just, no, not in school, but I feel like now you can't get away with a lot more things, but I feel like back then we were able to get away with more. Yeah. And the smoking thing is, I don't know how they're able to get away with that, but... Right. Because they were doing it on the soccer field.
Well, they were doing it during class.
No, but they were doing it on the soccer field during PE.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, at my high school, there was, like, the smoker's pit, and it was sort of, like, out at lunchtime and after school and before school, and it was, nobody really, like, policed the area, but that's where everybody went.
Yeah.
Here they're in class.
Yeah.
Outside at the PE.
So my other notice said, what happened to the dead werewolf that got hit by the van? And the dead werewolf that got hit by the van is the werewolf that bit her in the woods that night. And then he was running away, and then the van hit him with another teenager driving, and he hit it, and then he got out to see what it was, and he was gone. They never explained where he went.
They never came. They never showed the body.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
Yeah, that's true. Some cool visuals in this movie. Sorry, you go ahead. You got another point?
No, I was just laughing at my next note. Human circumcised dick on werewolf.
Was that a line of dialogue? Or was that just something you noticed?
I put a laugh face because the werewolf still, the male werewolf we saw still had a regular dick or something weird.
A regular dick?
Well, for some reason I wrote this note down and it was funny. And I don't remember now.
I love it. That's
the werewolf had a human circumcised dick. I don't know. There was a reason why I wrote the note, so you're gonna have to watch to find out why. I love that. Over time, Ginger was getting more werewolf features. Mm-hmm. So her sister had to tape her tail down all the time because her tail was always sticking, but her tail was like going down her underwear. It just looked like a guy taping his dick down. It was really funny.
Right.
The other thing is I said not a strong ending.
The ending was a little weak.
Yeah.
Again, we won't spoil that part, but
it was good though.
It was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The quick follow up to Ginger Snaps 2 is the sister the sister is in an institution, and that's how that story goes. And then the third movie, they flash back to like the 1800s or the 1900s.
Yeah, they do some weird remake of it.
It's got some of the same actors, but that's
I don't know. You don't need it.
I mean, I think you're right. I'm curious. Maybe I'm curious about the two. We'll watch them eventually. We're not going to watch them as part of our 31 days, though.
No. I think we've got lots of other things to watch. I think we should move on to the next one. Ginger Snaps is definitely worth watching, though, just because it's just interesting and weird and different concept on werewolves.
Yes, that I enjoyed. Day 3 is a movie that I had never heard of before. We found it on Shudder. Had one of those great posters where instantly I knew I wanted to watch it.
Oh yeah, it's what I love about Halloween movies and horror films and stuff is these cheesy classics, especially in the 80s.
Yeah. So this movie I think was 1981. It's called Blood Beach, and this is only a handful of years after Jaws.
Yeah.
And I think that's all you need to know. Somebody went, you know what's so great about Jaws? Well, what if they didn't make it to the water? Which is actually the tagline of this movie. Yeah. Which is murder that happens on the beach.
It's a horror comedy sci-fi. It was filmed on the Santa Monica Pier in California. So basically it's Jaws, but with creatures instead. Right. Maybe alien type creatures.
So there is a reveal. Like, it takes a long way for them to reveal what's happening in the sand. It
starts off like, that's what I like about those movies. They start off right down right away with the killing. Right. Like, it's not like this built up.
The entrance stuff that was good, but I mean, they're blatantly ripping off Jaws. Like, they've got a guy that's like basically a police officer of the beach. It's Harbor Patrol or something, but it's like exactly like the character. There's a sidekick there. There's people getting killed on the beach. There's news reporters covering the event. So it is very much like the small town of Amity in a lot of different ways.
It also reminds me of the times of COVID because it's been known that the beach has been swallowing people. It was witnessed by everybody at the beach. It's swallowing people. And very next day, people are back and like, we're fine. They've checked the beach over. They dug it up and it's fine. Yeah. But it just reminded me of COVID where everybody the young people go back out and don't even listen.
That's whatever they want.
Yeah. And there was another scene where a cat was jumping into a window and he made a leopard sound. Wasn't it? He just went, wow, like it was like a leopard.
I enjoyed that.
Oh God, the scene where the woman was coming out of the apartment. She went to the beach for some reason, just because she was on a date or she decided to go to the beach. Yeah. And a man tries to rape her under the pier. She went under the pier for some reason, which I would never do at night. But the man tried to rape her, and then the beach the beach attacked him and ripped his dong off because he was laying, stomach down on the sand. It like totally tore his dong off.
Good use of the word dong.
I mean, it's gross because he had it in his hand. Yeah. And he let go and he dropped it out of his hand. Right. It was so gross.
Yeah, it was good.
To be fair, there's a lot of mangled penis in this last couple of weeks of watching stuff. I don't know what's going on here.
More than I ever wanted to see.
But yeah, he got his day because the sand got him. And
yeah, I don't want to dive too much into the fact of this weird little rape scene, but I'm thinking, and this is a terrible thing to say, hiding underneath a pier where there's nobody around doesn't seem to be like a good place to.
I'm not sure why she went underneath the pier. I'm not sure. You know what? Her hat blew off, I think, and she went to the sand. But there was no reason for her to go underneath the pier. Still, there was no reason
for the whole rape scene other than
there's no reason for this whole movie, but it's still been made.
That's true, and I appreciate that. But
Yeah.
I guess just quickly jumping to the end, it turns out that there's these. Oh, what?
When he took the guy's dong off, they made a dong imprint in the sand.
Did they?
The dick imprint was in the sand when he flipped over.
Good note.
I said man's dong got taken off from creature and left sand imprint.
These are good notes. I knew I was a bad note taker, but I've written down things like this movie was filmed with shaky cam.
Yeah. Oh, that was true. It was very shaky. It was very, even like the intro when they started off, they were like really shaking around the beach.
It was not
They were trying.
smooth.
You can tell they dug holes in the sand to try and get like a really low underneath the sand shot.
Right.
But yeah.
I have another note that just says night shift at the beach.
Yeah, there was no reason for people to be on the beach.
Yeah. Anyways.
But
and
also
then there was another point where somebody pulls out an eyeball, or he picks up an eyeball, and there's no sand on it. He picks it up off the beach, and there's absolutely zero sand.
It would totally have sand on it. Yeah. And you can watch this free on YouTube. Just search for Blood Beach, 1981.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
That's how we watched it.
Yeah.
We should have put, so we are going to put all these in the description so you can click to it.
Most of these things were in Shudder.
Yeah.
I will say it if we watched it differently.
Yeah. But Blood Beach, go ahead.
The first week was definitely a lot of Shudder.
Mm-hmm. It was, for sure.
Okay, I guess we'll move on. I would still say, so far, I would say everyone's worth watching just because there's so many weird things that happen in every single one of them.
I think that's true. I think there's value. Well, there hasn't been anything
There's
terrible.
been a movies I'm going to say not bothering.
That's true.
There will be.
Right.
The third week, there's definitely some shitty ones.
Yes. However, day number 4, far from shitty. Day 4 was one of my favorite movies of the week.
Oh, you think so? Is that going to be your favorite movie of the week?
That is going to be my favorite movie of the week. Yeah. This movie is called PreVenge. And it is written and directed and starring a woman called Alice Lowe, who, this movie is fantastic.
She was also 8 months pregnant in the duration of this filming.
And you had said that she had wrote this movie or came up with it over the course of a weekend because she wasn't getting hired for things because she was pregnant.
Yeah.
And so now she wrote this movie. And if you read the synopsis of the movie, this is one thing I really, really liked about it. If you read
3.5 days it took her to write the movie.
Amazing.
Yeah. Which
doesn't mean like, oh, this is a bad movie. You only wrote it in 3.5 days. The fact is, this is a great story. This is a pregnant woman that is murdering people. But you don't know why she's murdering people. If you read the synopsis, you'll know why. But when you're watching the movie, there's murders happening, but you don't know until about 30 minutes into the movie why she's killing people. If you read it, you'll know. Basically, there's her fiance is killed in a hiking accident, and she goes and hunts down everybody involved in the accident and kills them all.
Yeah, and kind of knows that it might be someone, it's their fault.
I've got a little bit of a problem there because it's never clear why.
It did at the end. At the end, he said we had to make a choice, and he was the choice. But it was to sacrifice one person to save the rest of them.
But when we're looking at that scene, it wasn't. I was envisioning, oh, they're all hanging on. The rope is breaking. There's not enough. It looked like he was the only person on the rope.
But she does investigate and ask, like, so the rope can hold this many pounds, huh? Why did you sacrifice him then if he can hold that? But It doesn't make any sense.
I'm just saying the accident happened wasn't fully explained why he died. We see a rope get cut.
There's flashes of things that you see over time, and you can probably put it together that way.
Right.
But yeah.
Putting that aside doesn't take away my love of the movie because I thought it was fabulous.
Oh, it's so good. It only took 11 days to shoot.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And it was filmed in Cardiff, Wales.
Wow.
Cardiff? Yeah.
Cardiff. Did you go to Cardiff?
I believe I did.
Nice.
That's very close, I think, to your little land you want to live in with that one little TV show we watched, The Cafe or whatever.
Oh, The Cafe. Beautiful show. We should rewatch that again. The
first cut was 135 minutes long. The final cut is 87 minutes, including credits. So it's not a long movie, so it would be easy to watch.
Yep.
The weirdest thing about the whole movie, though, is that she can hear her baby talking to her. Yeah. So the whole time it's like baby talk. She's like, you know you want to kill him. You know he did you wrong.
Yeah.
He killed my daddy. You got to do it.
Yeah.
And the most horrific scene was cutting off the DJ Dan's dick. Another dick thing again.
Dick cuts.
She did cut off his dick. There's a lot of dick mangling happening in the horror movie genre lately.
I think we unintentionally had Dick Week.
I think we had Dick Week. Dick Week.
Yeah. I like DJ Dan, though.
And my other note is baby book with her murders in it. She made a baby book.
Yes.
And she kept all her murders in it in like little souvenirs, drawings, and
yeah.
But it was done in a baby book style.
This movie had some gory stuff. I had written down all of the notes because we knew there was 6 people on this hiking trip or this mountain climbing expedition, and so I was making notes about every single death. And when I was at like the 30-minute mark after we got that reveal, I wrote down sequel and then wrote down murdering toddler.
That would be a good sequel.
Yeah, like why would if the obvious sequel?
Revenge on who though? Because everyone's dead.
Well, if the kid was talking to her and pushing her and directing her to murder these things when she had that baby and the kid started growing up, I would have thought maybe like a mother son daughter.
But the mother is probably put away.
Maybe.
Or did she die at the end?
Maybe. No, she gets away with this.
She kills the last person at the very end.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. The other fun thing is it has Nandor from What We Do in the Shadows in it.
Yeah, almost unrecognizable.
Almost unrecognizable.
Because he's so clean cut in this.
Yeah.
And great in this movie.
Yeah.
Nandor? Nandor.
Yeah, and the star of this show, her name is Alice Lowe.
Yep.
Yeah, and I've seen her in a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, and then I wrote no one would hire her thing, so that's all my notes. I mean, every murder was great. I actually thought every murder was really well thought out. Like when she killed that woman in the office, it was amazing because she was about ready to fire her, and she's like, "I'm gonna." She was also on that trip. She was also on the hiking trip or climbing trip or whatever it is they do.
Which I'm going to stand by my point. It's not clear what the other people's involvement in the death actually was. Whereas like the hiking instructor, mountain climbing instructor.
Yeah,
like,
there was 2 women
directly responsible.
I think there were 6 people she killed and 2 were women. The other woman was like a kickboxer.
Yeah.
So she had a bit of a fight with her and the woman decides to kick her in the stomach with the baby.
Oh. Brutal.
So and then she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And like she feels bad for a second, then she turns around. And that's when she really kills her. So really great murder scenes as far as well thought out and really fucked up.
A couple really gory ones where it's sort of like, oh, but mostly it's okay and kind of tolerable. But if you're into murdering baby mamas, this is the movie for you.
Or listening to the baby go, "You have to kill him."
Yeah.
Because there's a couple times where she felt bad and she wasn't going to do it, and the baby's like, "But you have to do it. Killed my daddy." It's so good.
Let's talk about day 5.
Day 5.
Day 5, I'm going to go opposite. So as PreVenge was really, really awesome. Day 5 is in the opposite direction, but still kind of great. But it's called Night of the Demons.
Wow.
Had you heard of this movie?
No, I have not. I may have seen it a long time ago on like USA Up All Night or something, but I don't know. There's so many I've seen over the years. So, but it didn't look familiar.
No, but it's the kind of thing where you see it on a listing, you see the thumbnail, I'm in.
Yeah.
It's called Night of the Demons. It's got a great poster.
It was filmed in South Central LA.
Yeah.
It's a horror comedy. I actually got a side note here with Lena Quinley. She's a very well-known person in the horror film industry. She's always willing to show her boobs.
Right. Okay.
Lynn Quinley.
Yes.
Who played Suzanne.
Yes.
And special effects artist Steve Johnson met when she came in to get a mold of her fake breast done. They were later married.
Okay.
And she also Lynn Quinley, I can't even say her name. Lynn Quigley?
Sure. Quigley.
I'm probably butchering her last name. Yep. She also has a horror workout video.
Which we watched a little bit of. Yeah. Which looked funny. I think in Hollywood, that first part where she met Steve Johnson, that's what's known as a meet cute.
Yeah. So he worked on the movie as well. Meet cute.
Casting her boobs.
And I cast your boobs and I kind of want to marry you.
And now we're in love.
Yeah. So there you go.
I get that.
Yeah. I get it.
I've got 2 notes from this movie.
I've got about...
This is all I wrote down.
I got 6 notes.
You got 6 notes? Okay, let's do yours.
Okay.
And then we'll go back to mine.
I said cool shot with the mirror.
Remind me.
There's some cool shot with the mirror when they went in there, and I should have wrote a little bit more. But there was a demon in the mirror.
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah. So this is a group of teens. No, they're like
they wanted
20s.
to have a Halloween party in their house.
And they go and find this old house, and there's a mirror, and they're trying to release
a place
spirits.
to have sex.
Yeah, they're trying to release the spirits in the
release
mirror.
A lot of
tell
things.
ghost stories into the mirror, or talk or something into a mirror. And there was a pretty cool.
Well, they weren't there
mirror.
to do ghost stuff. They were there to party. They set up refreshments. They got a table with food.
But it was Halloween.
And they had a fog machine. They had music.
And they wanted to get scary, and they released demons from the mirror.
Well, it was already in there. They just didn't know that.
Yeah.
So of course, when they start walking around and separating, little things happen. The demon actually jumps body to body.
Yeah.
So whoever's body it actually kills whatever.
But even that's not clear because there are a couple of straight out demons.
The demon sort of sub-demon itself and went into other bodies too.
But some of them also become zombies.
Yeah.
Some are
the demon
possessed.
kind of controlled them.
And then when they're killed, the other ones became zombies.
I guess they just kind of became a demon zombie where it controlled the master demon.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, and then Stooge Pig Boy.
Pig Boy was, okay.
Is his name Stooge?
I think so.
Pig Boy has a rad mullet and side shavings.
Very much, yeah. Very awesome.
He had a rad mullet. I was rooting for that guy, but he didn't make it.
I think when you say rad mullet, that's like, you don't even need the word rad because a mullet by nature is totally rad.
A rad mullet. I had to say rad.
You don't need it.
You do. Because he had like the jean jacket with no sleeves on. Yeah. He was a little overweight. He was kind of gross.
All of that's rad.
Yeah. He should be driving a truck. Oh, Suzanne, who was the Lena Quigley's character, whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
There was a scene where she shoved her lipstick into her nipple. Like it went in.
Oh, yeah.
Like she was just drawing on her chest and all of a sudden she just pushed it and it went inside her nipple like her body swallowed it. It's
not explained. It's done once.
Probably done by Steve Johnson.
Yeah. There's no reason for that.
She was just sitting in her room being weird because she already had the demon in her.
Yeah.
And so she was just sitting in the corner like a baby doll, just doing weird shit. Like she was drawing. She's like, "Is my lipstick fine? Is my lipstick fine?" And yeah. And even the dudes wouldn't have sex though. He's like, "You're being too fucking weird right now. I'm not doing it."
Yeah. Guys know a crazy chick when they see one.
Oh, we talked about the zombies. Everyone's becomes demons when they're killed and act like zombies. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, and I said ridiculous ending with Puppet Demon.
Yeah, that's right.
It almost looked like a dragon at the end, and you could tell that someone had an arm each, and there's the head, and they're sort of going like this over the wall.
You just reminded me of my third note, which I didn't write down, and that was the guy. There was one character in this movie that just was always trying to hightail it away from everybody. I think his name was Steve.
He was in the car sleeping outside.
Yeah, he's always trying to escape. That was the thing, is you couldn't get off the property.
Yeah,
they got in, then there was a wall that appeared, and they were kind of trapped in there. But he is always in a scene with somebody else. They're in a situation. They're helping each other, and then all of a sudden he bolts and he just leaves, and he's always leaving that person behind to
he was
to be killed.
He was very wimpy.
Yeah, he
just was. Even like the woman who was with him, she was like, I'm getting attacked, and he's like, I see ya. Yeah, like he didn't help her at all.
I'm out of here.
He didn't help her at all.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying you don't see that in movies much.
And he's like, I think he survived at the end. Yeah, with her. He did. But it's like, dude, out of all the people, you're the one who didn't fight at all.
Exactly.
And you survived.
I have two notes that I made, and the first one is massive sweater.
On Night of the Demons?
Yeah, I think at the beginning of this movie there was a girl just wearing like a massive sweater. And that's what I wrote down. Yeah. Another one was there's a brother at the beginning of this movie, and he's hiding in his sister's closet.
Oh yeah, that was creepy.
And she's getting dressed, or she just got out of the shower or something. And so she's down into her, I'm gonna say her skivvies, her panties and her bra. Yeah. She opens up. It
was a see-through bra too, like a lace one. You can clearly see stuff.
The brother scares her and then says, "Whoa, bodacious boobs, sis."
Creepy.
Now, I don't have any sisters.
I don't.
Either of your brothers say that to you?
No.
I don't understand this dialogue.
I don't either. But,
yeah, it was weird. I also want to know, I think that kid should have his own movie.
As being a creeper?
Yeah.
a creeper murder guy.
Yeah,
maybe cuts off boobs or something.
It was strange.
Okay,
this movie is a bit of a cult classic. It turns out I've mentioned this movie to a couple of horror friends that I know, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Night of the Demons, love it. It's great."
I think there might be a part 2.
The director that did it, I think, has gone on to do a bunch of other stuff. I think even another movie that we watched, I enjoyed it. It's a fun, delightful, campy slasher chick. That's what you want.
I definitely would watch this again at some point just because it was weird.
Yeah.
Weird enough for me to watch it again and be like, oh yeah, this was weird. I remember the stupid puppet at the end. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was good. And the one girl they were all dressed in costumes too, so that made it even funnier. So like the girl that survived, she was wearing an Alice in Wonderland costume, and a lot of the scenes she was like falling like Alice. In certain scenes, they really, really did the Alice in Wonderland thing with her. She was crawling through holes, small holes.
You could see
there was a little bit of Alice in Wonderland stuff going on there.
You can see some good ideas and good themes in this movie. This movie was it took place in a time period where special effects were hard to do. You did a lot of practical stuff, so some of it looks dated and campy, but that's part of its charm. So that's day 5.
Yeah, and day 6. Again, it is definitely penis week because this also has to do with penises.
3rd penis.
Wow.
So this movie is called Porno. And it's not a porno. It's a horror movie called Porno.
Yeah.
And was this Canadian?
A horror comedy. Yeah. It was filmed in Greenport, New York.
Okay, not Canadian. This movie's got a great poster, though. That's what caught our eye on Shudder. The title's obviously going to catch any young man's eye, but I
actually thought it was a slow start.
You didn't like it as much as I did.
No, I didn't like it as much as you. It was too much religion for me.
So the quick premise
I say religion is overkill.
Yeah.
Like so it's not natural.
This movie takes place in a small town. Apparently it's a religious town.
Like everyone in the town is religious and has morals.
You've seen Footloose.
But they didn't. The kids weren't like that though. These were kids.
They were all in. They were very active religious kids, which I guess you see
super active. They question whether they should pee or not.
Right. They all work at a movie theater, and the boss leaves for the evening, and if they clean up good or something, they basically get the run of the movie theater.
It was their night to watch movies in the theater.
Yeah, and they could either watch A League of Their Own, or shit. What was the other movie?
Oh, it was totally opposite of that. Dang it! They referenced that movie so many times.
Yeah, they did. Okay, I'm just gonna grab that name because.
Well, while you look that up,
okay.
A girl in Porno had a hairy patch to cover up her real area, like. The demon in this movie, because we're probably getting ahead of ourselves here, that came out. Well, I guess we should say with the porno, they find a porno, a hidden area in the movie theater that had old film in it. Yeah. And they found this film, and they're like, well, let's watch this film. And it ends up being like this artsy porno, like really weird, like demons and devils and tied up naked women on cross and stuff. And they started watching, and of course they go around with their morals like we shouldn't watch this, but we want to watch this. And so the more and more they watch it, the more the demon comes out of the movie.
See, that's why I liked it. There was conflict because if you're showing this, if any group of teens, and again, it's like 4 boys and 1 girl, the guys are all going to be into it. And the girl was sort of, she was really into it. She was drawn into it. Yeah. Some of the guys, there was an older guy that had been to college.
There's a guy who's gay, but not really knowing it.
Right. Yeah. And the older guy, the projectionist, was
he was the worst of all. He was
on the God Squad and he was really resistant against it. And so that's what I liked about it. The internal conflict that people had, which pulled them in a little bit deeper to keep watching.
Yeah, he was definitely super God Squad.
Yeah.
So, okay, so a part of that film was a woman inside it. And she comes out of the film, the demon woman.
She's a succubus.
She's completely naked.
Yep.
But they put a fake hairy patch over her normal hairy.
Giant bush.
And it looks so obvious. It looked like they took a part of a wig and just glued it on and made a V.
Yeah.
It looks so obvious and weird. So that was really poorly executed.
Was that what was more shocking, seeing a giant bush or multiple dicks throughout the week?
Multiple dicks.
Yeah.
Dicks are just weird in general, especially when they get mangled.
And the dick that you see in this movie is mangled And it's a lot to take on.
There's a lot of mangled dicks. Like what happens is the demon comes out and she sucks your soul through your genitals.
Yes.
So it seems to only happen to the men. The women doesn't seem to really happen to. So basically, when they're about to,
it was interrupted.
When they were about to do their thing, their dick explodes.
Right.
Like she seduces them until their dick explodes, and then she sucks their souls out.
When they climax, they are giving her their soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was weird.
Great movie.
And my other note is just Todd. Todd
is problematic in this movie.
Todd is a problem.
I wrote down giant muff, and then I also wrote fucking Todd.
Just Todd. Yeah. I put Todd with the laughing face.
And my last one, so many dicks.
So many dicks. I said kids are too naive, and I said mangled dick is gross as fuck.
Yeah. My other note was the porno that they were watching. This like artful porno was really cool looking. Like,
it was a lot. If you have strobe issues, I wouldn't watch it because there's a lot of strobe lighting going on. The scariest part for me was Demon Todd.
Demon Todd was good.
Demon Todd was the part that scared me the most out of all the whole movie.
And let's not forget, too, and I know that you complained about this or stated this several times when we were watching it, which is just break a window and leave the movie theater.
Well, he touched the door and the metal part of the door was hot, but they didn't touch base on could they break the window.
Yeah.
Because one time they were looking out the window at some point when they went to another world. Mm-hmm. The people outside stopped and looked at him and turned into zombie-ish kind of people came after them.
There's some sci-fi elements, things going on in this movie that are pretty cool. Overall, did you like it? Would you recommend it? Do you think it's worth a watch?
I wouldn't watch it again. It's worth a watch if you want to see a bunch of dicks explode.
Who doesn't?
I mean, if I knew that this was about it, I probably wouldn't have watched it.
It's more than just exploding dicks.
Well, I just didn't think it was strong enough, even for a cheesy movie.
Fair enough. I
had an issue with the girl too. Where the movie was, where the old movie they found was, there was a bunch of like books, like witchcraft books kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And she like apparently memorized this book within the night that they were there to do spells on the demon at the end.
She clearly had a photographic memory.
Maybe that's what it is, but she memorized quite a lot.
And she was like most females, they're using their brain more than the regular. Like I was stumbling through that, but like proving the point again that men are idiots. But basically, she was a lot smarter than the rest of the dudes. Yeah. And so I get it. It was the right character to retain all of that knowledge or absorb all that knowledge quickly.
And of course, the demon would give them the fantasy that they want to see in order to suck their souls.
That's a succubus. And that's how they get you.
I did write down the line, a group of repressed Christian horn dogs find themselves doggily pursued by a beautiful and a frequently nude woman.
Yeah. That's how they're going to get you.
A frequently nude woman. Jesus is frequently nude succulent. Not a plant.
Not a plant. Succubus.
Succubus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we need to move on to number 7.
Final movie of the week.
Oh, crap. Yeah. Well, this is it. This is the last one. Perfect timing.
This movie is from 1986, and it is called Witchboard. And I like this more than I thought I was going to. Mm-hmm. I immediately thought that this was going to be, a good little cheesy, shitty movie.
It's not from 1986. It's a horror mystery thriller.
There was more going on this. There was more going on in this movie than I thought there was going to be.
There was a lot going on.
I liked it. I thought the performances were pretty good.
So the filming location was at the Higgins Verbeck Hirsch Mansion at 637 South Lucerne Boulevard in Windsor Square, Los Angeles.
I think you said Manson and not Mansion.
Did I?
Yeah, that's okay.
Hirsch Mansion. The Higgins Verbeck Hirsch Mansion.
Those are tough words to put together.
I know, there's a lot.
Yeah.
So it was basically filmed in California at this one house for most of it. It has Tawny in it.
I was just going to say that.
Tawny Katan.
Tawny Katan.
Yeah.
Whitesnake?
I think so.
Yeah. Classic.
Well, she's
if you don't know who that is, look that up. You've recognized her. And if you're
an 80s kid, you know who Tawny is.
Yeah. She was a rock star music video girl. Like one of the original rock girls. Music video rock girls. Those are words together that doesn't sound right, but that's who she was.
Yeah. And just so you know, when you do watch this, there's a Witchboard too.
Oh.
So.
So this is about a Ouija board, which they insist on saying Ouija.
Ouija. They say Ouija in the right way.
Yeah. So there's a character in this that is really, really a bit of like that rich sort of preppy guy who
drives a BMW or something.
He's traveled a bit.
He's a yacht boy. I called him Yacht Boy. I said when Yacht Boy Brandon dies, it was a surprise, but he played his death role terribly, and his eyes were moving when his friend was holding him.
Wow, you jumped way ahead, but you're right. Spoiler alert.
But I'm saying is I call him Yacht Boy. Yeah, gotcha. Yacht Boy Brandon is what I called him through the whole movie.
But he basically at this party, basically what it turns out to be, the movie starts off with a party. There's a Ouija board that comes out. He also says, "Oh, you guys want to talk to spirits? I've been talking to this boy."
The guy's like an expert Ouija board guy. Ouija board guy.
Yeah.
And he brought it out and
then says things like, "Oh, the spirits that you talk to, though, they always lie. So they always lie to you." And then, "Oh, make sure you never do a Ouija board by yourself. You should always have it with a second person." So. Blah 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 blah. Tawny is intrigued by the Ouija board. They did reach
someone who was a little kid. Yeah, they thought, and then she was intrigued, so he left it behind the Ouija board on accident. So she was doing it on her own.
She got addicted. She got lured in, and then more things start happening.
Well, she thought it was a little boy, and the spirit gets to choose the next person he gets to be.
Right.
And she was like pregnant, I guess, and she's like, "Why won't you be me?" And he said, I don't want to be, I want you to be my mom, but I don't want to be your child because I don't like your boyfriend.
Right. So it turns out that the boyfriend was his name Brad? Yeah, Brandon and Jim. Jim was Tawny Katan's boyfriend. They were buddies growing up. They both loved
her. Tawny.
I'm just saying Tawny because I can't remember.
He was always running to her. The guy with the Ouija board who owns it was always running to her.
Trying to win her back kind of thing, right?
He wants her back.
Jealous of their relationship. So because of that, their friendship was ruined. They're kind of always been at odds. They're always kind of dicks to each other.
They still hang out.
Now they're forced to work together to recover and save her. And there was a couple of, as she's sort of becoming possessed and becoming obsessed with it, she's swearing a lot. And so she's changing. She's changing. She never swore before.
Is she swearing a lot?
And there's this great conversation where he comes and visits him at work, and he's working on a job site. He's a construction worker. And he asks, "Has she been swearing a lot?" And the response is, "Like a trucker."
She usually just says "dang."
Yeah.
And like other words like that. And he's like a trucker. Yeah.
And then she's been suffering from passive entrapment. Sorry, passive entrapment.
Yes, you got to be careful of passive entrapment with them, with the ghosts.
Basically,
with the spirits.
Ouija board takes control of you. All you want to do is talk to the person on the Ouija board on the other side. So, as cheesy as this all sounds, it's actually really kind of entertaining. It's still really, really good. Yeah. And even sort of these 80s kind of like particular standout characters, because Brandon reminds me of like Blaine from Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of got that vibe to him.
Yeah.
There's some interesting events that happen in this movie.
Yeah, I like this movie. In anything witchy, I usually like to. Yeah. I like that kind of movie, but I would watch it again, and I'm actually hoping there is a Witchboard 2 that I saw because I would watch it. I actually don't want to give too much away in Witchboard because I think it's really fun and some of the weird scenes where people. And actually, I was surprised at one of the deaths in it with Yacht Boy.
Yeah, I thought he was going to make it all the way through.
I did not expect that at all. It was a very shocking. I didn't see that coming.
So there's a pretty good twist in this movie. Let's not spoil that part.
Yeah.
I think we'll keep that to our own. I definitely think it's a fun little watch. I think you would enjoy it. If you are doing 31 days of Halloween or horror movies, again, ours are more Halloween-y based, less horror. We're mixing in some horror, but we love dark comedies. We love comedy horror as well. So
there is no just straight up gore. This week though, it's been gory for some of the movies we've been watching.
I think we're gonna, as we move on, like because we thought about doing themes, but I think it really depends on the mood.
I realized this week the theme was dick.
It was dick.
Dick week.
Dick week. Yeah. Next week, who knows?
I also realized that dicks don't belong in movies. they just look gross in general.
Not attractive.
They're just not good in movies.
Terrible design.
Especially when they're mangled and exploded. And
Yeah.
I think every movie had a dick issue.
Maybe not Fido. And not Blood Beach.
No, Blood Beach had dick.
Oh, damn. I mean, Ginger Snaps.
Nope.
But there was
Ginger Snack had dick.
There was a wolf dick.
Yeah, there was a wolf dick.
Yeah,
circumcised
you
wolf
wrote that
dick.
down.
It was like, okay, I think that one was it was all wolf and furry and stuff. Besides the dick was still human.
Yeah.
It didn't turn into like a furry wolf dick.
Well, you were talking because I knew we were gonna like rate the movies.
Yeah.
What was your favorite dick? How would you rate the dicks?
I can't rate it that way. My favorite movie of the week. Let me just look up my list.
I am gonna rate the dicks, and I'm gonna go. Porno had the best mangled dick.
Oh, I think Blood Beach because he had it in his hand and he let go and it just fell to the ground and hit the sand.
You like detached dick?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we say dick so much? Whatever. Dong. I like when you said dong.
Dong.
Where is my automobile?
I'm trying to think of what my favorite movie of the week was. I'm assuming, I mean, it's probably PreVenge because I'm a big fan of British stuff.
Well, I think...
PreVenge then Witchboard. But I think, we both say PreVenge of this week, right?
100% for me. PreVenge, I thought was, I mean, it helps that it's modern. Mm-hmm. So it's crafted better, even though I had a couple of notes about things I didn't like. Mm-hmm. Overall, it's the most beautifully shot movie, but
actually, Fido's the most beautifully shot movie.
Yeah, good point. Okay. But I think, as you can see from our list, it's not just about like ramping up of gore. We're pulling from all over the place, and that really depends on the mood. Because we had plans to watch X movie, and we're like, I'm not feeling it. That looks amazing. Mm-hmm. Let's watch that. And sometimes a great movie is a piece of shit fucking movie.
No, and this last week we watched the movies and it really was more disturbing than anything. And it really bothered me. I was like, I can't do 7 nights of that type of movie, like a hostage situation. No, I can't do that too many times. Yeah. But yeah, I think PreVenge. The best cheesy movie though was probably Blood Beach.
Yeah? Okay.
I think. Or Witchboard. No, Blood Beach. As far as like really cheese factor, like ridiculous, Blood Beach. Okay. Because sand is eating people.
If I had to rate them in order, I would go PreVenge first. I'm gonna go Ginger Snaps, Porno, Witchboard, Fido. I should be higher on the left. I'm just gonna do top 3 because I can't
you can't do the order.
I think there's some ties in there.
I don't know. I think Porno's not even in my top 3 at all. I think it was a piece of crap.
Well, do your top 3, and then I'll do my top 3.
PreVenge, Fido.
Yeah.
And probably Night of the Demons. And then Ginger Snaps.
Okay. I'm going to go Fido, PreVenge, Ginger Snaps, Fido.
Mm-hmm. No, I can probably, and then Witchboard. Porno would be the bottom for me out of all 7 movies.
Understandable. Yeah. I get it.
I just don't know about that one. I just feel like it wasn't... There's cheese, but there's cheese that doesn't make sense. Like, I get that. Because there's movies that are so bad they're good, which is ranked highly in my book. Like Blood Beach.
Like Blood Beach, exactly. Baby Porno was too middle of the road. It wasn't scary. It wasn't campy and cheesy.
But also, I have an issue with religion, a lot of things. So, but also it just didn't seem like teenagers normally don't follow all religion, even if their whole family's religious. They tend to, like in Footloose, they were going on the side, not doing what they're supposed to do. Even though the town was super religious, they still were up to no good.
Right.
But these teens acted like they've never misbehaved.
Every teenager on the planet is boring if they're the goody-goodies, do the rules. Mm-hmm. So I can see your point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all 7. That's the first 7 that we've watched. Mm-hmm. So if you want to follow along, every day that we're posting the movies that we're watching, I'm putting up the links on where you can watch them. Mm-hmm. If you have any comment on that movie, I invite you to leave a comment. If you've seen the movies, if you've never heard of it, we'd love to know that too. Feel free to share your recommendations too. We may even include it in this list because we've still got half the month to go. We're at day 16. We already did
day 16, but we'll probably do 17 tonight after midnight, or probably more than likely close to after midnight. Mm-hmm. So in day 17 will be an interesting classic that you've never seen that I have.
Yes.
And I think we'll watch all 3 of them. Not tonight, but over the next 3 days.
Right. So stay tuned to that. Follow us on Instagram to find out what movie we're talking about. There's 7 more movies coming soon. We're going to get caught up here and with the podcast. And again, just want to hear what you guys are interested, what's on your list, and let us know what you're watching and enjoying. If you're doing 31 days as well.
It's not too late to start. You can
No, it's not.
You can still do the rest of the month of. It's just fun. It kind of forces you to watch movies. Like if you force every night. Like, I feel like we should do this in the summer, too. Like, we do 31 days of summer movies.
Yeah.
So you can do, like, Mr. Hobbs Takes a Vacation or...
Summer rental. Summer school.
Like, I feel like we should do summer ones, too. So, not just horror, but this is my favorite time of year, and I want to be stuck in this time zone forever. Like, October is my favorite month. So, everything has to do with
summer.
This.
I want to watch Do the Right Thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll have to do a summer one, too.
Yeah. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Love it if you gave this video a thumbs up. And please subscribe to our channel to follow along and join into this movie content that we're doing. Hope you're having a fantastic Halloween so far. And I guess that's it.
Yeah. And we'll put week 2 next.
Yeah, so week 2 is coming. Hit subscribe so you never miss that, or so that you won't miss episode number 2, week 2 of 31 Days of Halloween.
Yeah.
So thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time,
Goodbye humans.